I've been funny for as long as I can remember. You know, they say that babies don't have a sense of humor, they don't develop that until they're older, but I think I did have a sense of humor, and a pretty darn good one at that, you know. I don't know if I was the sperm making zingers, you know, when I was going to the eggs. That's a taste of the kind of stuff I do. I mean, it's just like a constant thing with me. I'm constantly making jokes. Anyway, I never much knew my father growing up. He died when I was very young. And it was pretty just me and my mom, you know. Me and I was having a ball, actually. I really enjoyed those times. But then she got married to a man named Larry, which excited me because I was, you know, I was keen to the idea of having a father figure around, you know, play ball with. Larry was not as interested in that. Larry actually would make a little post-it note that would say, "Not my son." He would put it on my forehead, make me wear it. He actually made one for himself as well, saying, "Not your father." He'd wear that one around. And one day old Larry was gone. He had taken off, took all their savings. Turns out he was what's called a scam artist. That left my mom in a bit of a funk. And I have a very specific memory of me and my mother in the kitchen. She was crying, and me being a little kid, not knowing what to do, I just started making jokes, little kid jokes. And you know, to my surprise, she starts cracking up, and then she feels better. I remember at that moment I realized that making people laugh can help them. And I decided to use my God-given talent and become a comedian. And now that, you know, fate has made this happen, I found this wonderful young high school student, Ian, and he wants to make a documentary about me, and I guess that will help. I mean, that will make me famous. Why don't we get a shot of you, Ian?
I'm the only one who's allowed to touch the camera.
Out of the camera, Ian. Oh. Next, Steven Spielberg over here decides he wants to make a documentary film about me. I must be the luckiest man on this planet.
You shut up and get your crap together.
We are making the documentary film right now, so maybe we could talk about this later.
Get that camera on my face!
You agreed that it was okay to have a documentary made about me.
It's fine if there's a documentary about you, but I'm not in the documentary. I'm not in your life anymore.
We're having a Jerry Springer episode in my kitchen.
When I come back from my sister's, I want you out!
Okay. Now this, Ian, is a very special hill for me because it's the hill right under the railroad tracks. Now what I love about trains and watching them is that it makes me think of the imagery of going somewhere, you know, going, and you're just going on a train, going to meet your dreams or something, you know? And that's the thing in life, is you can't miss your train. This, Ian, is my best friend in the world and manager, Max. Looks like I'll be staying with him for a little bit until things blow over with Shelly, my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, you know. So, anyway, but looks like until then we're just gonna have ourselves a little bachelor party each and every night, huh? Mothers, lock up your daughters, cause, oh man. Whew.
You know, I used to be in a band, but me and one of the other members got in a little disagreement, so I took a guitar and broke it over his head. Give him a little concussion, show him what's what. And they sentenced me to court-order anger management because it was the third time I'd done something like that with musical equipment. Real assholes down there at the AM Center. They got me on lots of medication, which, you know, helps calm me down, but it makes me indifferent about everything, which I don't really care one way or the other about that. And around the same time I got out of my anger management, my grandpa, who used to be famous, he's not so famous anymore. He got thrown out of his old home for disruptive behavior. He stays with me now. And also around that time, Ted told me he was going to pursue a career in stand-up comedy. He asked me to be his manager. It was an eventful week for me. Now, if any other fool asked me to be his manager, I'd say, I know nothing about managing, I know nothing about comedy. But me and Ted, we've been friends since we were kids, so I said okay.
Oh gosh, what else does there know about me? I own 2 pairs of glasses, 1 distinguished suit jacket, sort of my signature apparel. You know, someone says, hey, there's a glowing young man coming in a sporting suit jacket. They say, oh yeah, Ted Wooly, funny guy. You know, I feel like in many ways I was raised by the great comedians. You know, I was influenced by their comedy. You know, I learned how to be funny through the greats. Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison. In my darker days I liked. And then Don Rickles, who is probably my favorite comedian of all time. But his career was tragically short-lived. He kind of stopped going on TV after a while. And so, but anyway, that brings me right, you know, why I'm so excited to be living with my BFF and manager Max, because now we can really focus on my comedy career. And our most ambitious project to date, getting me on the Conan O'Brien show, huh?
Yeah, Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien. Actually, Ian, I was thinking, if you're trying to create like a real structure for your movie, maybe it would be a good idea for the climax to be when I fly to New York getting the Conan O'Brien show. Just an idea, you know. Actually, why I'm not too worried about this Shelley thing is because the idea is once I get on the Conan O'Brien show, she'll see me, you know, on it, and she'll realize that I'm actually doing something with my life, the comedian thing's working out, and she'll come right back to me. You know, we'll get back together, sort through this, and so that's pretty much the plan. So, what I gotta focus on tonight, though, is my act. I'm going to one of the biggest local comedy clubs around, and you know, it's a big show. You know, I'm performing my act, and you know, hopefully it goes well. But you know what I really love about going to the clubs is it's like going to church. You know. You know, you get away from the real world where everyone's sort of nasty and pushing you around and kind of wants you to fail, rejects you, you know. But when you get to the comedy club, you know, all the other comedians are like your brothers, you know, there's this amazing kinship and everyone's supporting each other and everyone's helping each other with jokes. And when I'm on stage, okay? And I'm killing, alright? The audience is dying with laughter. They're falling out of their seats, milk squirting out their nose, and I'm up there, I don't even notice it. I keep going, I'm making jokes, I'm a success, I'm making jokes, and I can hear a grand symphony in my head, but I'm just like, joke, joke, joke. I make a joke, they laugh, I make a joke, they laugh, I make a joke, you know, it keeps going, and the grand symphony's going the entire time, and it's great. I make a joke, they laugh, they laugh, they laugh, they laugh, and they're laughing, and the whole room's laughing, and it's great. It's an experience.
T.Z.D. Wally. That's what it says. Ted Wooly is the name. Hey, I was an unusual kid. I tell you what, I didn't do that well in school. Other kids would be getting F's. I'd be getting G's. That was where are you from? Yeah. Boston. That's quite the city. Oh man, not like Chicago though, is Boston. Oh, it's cold in Chicago. Is it just me, or is it in Chicago that it feels like the coldness is against you, right? Only you. You know, so you play the game basketball, huh? And you play it with a basketball, right? And baseball, same thing. You play with baseball. Soccer, you play it with a soccer ball. You don't say you're playing soccer ball. You suck.
How do you think I did?
Yeah, you did fine. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Hey!
There was a person that flew
Hey,
back.
what is that in the club? What the was that?
Sorry?
Are you f***ing me? You took my f***ing joke and you butchered it. Everything in my bit revolved around that joke. It revolved around the premise of the cold in Chicago. I'm not even gonna do it because you ruined the whole thing for me.
The thing is, we were both at Six Flags Great America when I thought of that joke. We actually have the ticket stubs saved.
I don't care about your ticket stubs. You know what you did in the club. You heard me rehearsing and you took my joke.
We actually had the ticket stubs framed.
Yes. So it was a very fun day. That's why we framed it.
The ticket stubs are not important. I believe you went to Six Flags.
Friend, I totally get you. I understand your frustration, but we are actually making a documentary film right now, and it's going to be a big hit, and it's actually going to help your career. So, although this might...
the camera off now.
Well, we can't actually turn it off. We're actually filming everything in my life, and it's actually going to be a really big...
camera. And you know, I got to come up with a new bit because you can't keep your ears closed.
You know what, I think we should exchange phone numbers. That way we'll never make this mistake again, and also we can collaborate on our job.
You can say it again.